Hey, it's another day with May where I create healthy recipes based on your favorite foods. If you like what you see, please subscribe and like my videos. It will really help me grow and it would mean a lot to me. Anyway, today we are making a healthy version of apple bread. All right, let's check out our ingredients for today. Okay, first up, we have to make our applesauce. Okay, so first you want to take your butter and put it into your saucepan. Let that melt. Now you're gonna add in your apples and stir them up gently into the melted butter. Now you're going to take your lid, place it on top of your saucepan, and let those stew for about 10 minutes or until they are nice and soft. All right, now that our apples are simmering on the stove, I'm going to go ahead and mix all of the dry ingredients up. So first we're gonna grab our almond flour, measure out our 3 cups. Followed by our baking soda, our salt, and our baking powder. Our granular sweetener. And last but not least, my favorite, cinnamon. We'll keep it. All right, now let's whisk it all together. Make sure you do this step so it evenly combines into your dry mixture. Okay, now it's time to add in the wet ingredients. So with clean fingers, you're gonna make a well in the center of your dry ingredients. It doesn't have to be perfect. That'll do. Now I'm gonna grab my melted butter, pour that in, crack my eggs, grab my maple syrup, pour that in. All right, so with the maple syrup, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. You can use all of the granulated sweetener if you would like, or you can even use all maple syrup if you want to as well, and no granulated sweetener. So you can play around with that, just depending on what you prefer. Now I'm gonna take my vanilla, and I'm going to pour that in as well. Now take your whisk or your fork, like I'm using here, and whisk it all up. All right, so that will do it. Now I'm going to take my spatula and start folding in the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Okay, now that my apples are nicely stewed, I'm gonna take my masher and I'm gonna mash it all up to create the applesauce. Now, I don't like to mash mine up too much because I like those little extra chunky bits in my applesauce, and it just really makes that apple bread, I almost said banana bread. It makes that apple bread just really flavorful, and it has a little bit of extra texture to it that is really nice. All right, now that I have my applesauce, let's go ahead and fold it into the rest of the mix. tip, if your mix is too wet from the applesauce, you can go ahead and add some more almond flour, and that will just help absorb a bit of that moisture. Okay, now that our mix is all done, we're gonna go ahead and put it into our bread tin. And last but not least, we're going to make the crumbly apple top. So this is totally optional, you don't need it, but it's definitely really delicious if you do have it. So add your rolled oats into a bowl, followed by your butter and about a tablespoon of maple syrup. And don't forget those little bits of apple as well that you might have had left over. Now it's time to sprinkle it on top. And for the finishing touch, I'm gonna dust it off with a little bit of cinnamon. So I've preheated my oven to about 200 degrees Celsius, and I'm just gonna whack it in there for about an hour. Make sure you check it halfway though to see how it goes, because every oven is different. Anyway, let's go do that now, and I'll show you what it looks like after. All right, it's fresh out of the oven and it smells amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and until next time, see you later.